Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakwadash, double honors to the apostles and the elders, a great millstone, rule web, and a great example to his younger brothers in the truth. And peace and blessing to the hopeful elect, Lord, willing this edifying. And Friday night, after I got through cutting hair, handling a little business and stuff, I went to a gas station down where I was cutting it, and I was coming back up. When I was coming up the whole time I seen it, I thought I was tripping. I like, what is that in the sky? But it was, well, as I was coming down the road, it was like they was sitting in the middle of the sky. But as I stopped and pulled over in McDonald's parking lot, they started moving. But when I was coming down the road, it was four of them side by side in like almost a little lopsided square. They was in perfect formation, but they was kind of diagonal from each other in like a, perfect square formation. But perfect wop side square. So I pulled over because I knew I wasn't tripping. I was like, man, those look like chariots. And it was just about to get dark. That's what you see, that pink back there. And I was saying, I don't know. I think those chariots because I was like, maybe it's a fire going, and that's the, how when the fire burning, that the little ashes and stuff be flying up. But I sat there and thought about it. I was like, ain't no fucking way that's what that is. Because of that pink, I'm thinking like maybe it was a fire burner. Then I'm thinking, ain't no way that what it is. I done sat around many fires and, never, would it illuminate like this. So I was like, yeah, I'm tripping. I know I ain't tripping. That's why I kept saying I know I ain't tripping. But, the Lord put on the show, because as I stopped, they started moving. And I was like, hurry up, let me hurry up and stop and record it. So I know I ain't tripping. So I stopped and jumped out and started recording, and they was moving when I jumped out. See, like, when I stopped and jumped out and started recording, a couple of them, well, the other three was gone. That last one was one of those four that was in the sky when I was stopping. And then they just kept coming. They kept coming. I don't know why I had the video paused, well, I'm to this point of the story. So they kept coming back to back. And in person, like my camera, you really couldn't tell. In person, they wasn't just moving just straight across. They were kind of like going up and down, and, like some of them gonna go down behind the trees. Some of them gonna keep straight across. Some they're like moving slow, and then they kind of speed up. They'll start disappearing. They just kept coming from behind those trees back there, from that back area where that one just popped out at. And I was like, man, those chariots, this a fleet of chariots. There's gotta be a fleet of chariots, and cars were passing by. Ain't nobody stop and look up. That's why the scriptures say, look up, for your redemption draweth nigh. And the Lord is getting ready to destroy Babylon, because this was the most profound chariot sighting I ever seen. Just me personally. I done seen chariots before, me and certain other brothers. See, this was when they in a perfect triangle shape. And they all looked like fires unfolding in themselves. And as they got across the sky, they disappeared. And I was like, these ain't no satellites. These ain't, you can't call these satellites or damn, what else they be saying? Satellites. I think that's what I said, satellites. Something else, But you can't call those satellites, because they not in a straight line. They doing what they wanted to do. Like some of them, like that one, dropped down behind the tree. Some of them gonna drop down behind the tree in front of it, and some of them kept going straight across, and some of them started disappearing, like before they even made it across the sky to the next set of trees over here. And they kept coming. It probably was a good, I'ma say 50. And cause I ain't even get them all. I stopped recording and everything, made a second video. And they kept popping out like, I'm gonna record some more then. It was a good bit of them. I know for sure it was over 20 of them. And that's just if I were counting these that's on this video. They kept going. They all went that way. Or some of them dropped down like that one. That one finna drop down behind the trees. They was all doing like different patterns. Yep, but the Lord say in the last day he was gonna show signs in the heaven above and in the earth beneath. And they when they pop out, they was super bright. They was super bright. And that's why I was like, yeah, and I started filming down. I think those kids threw me off. Them little Edomite threw me off. See that one going slow, but it's climbing upwards. And then I think it's gonna start back going to the side behind that light pole. But they wasn't just moving straight how it looked. They were kind of juggling a little bit. They weren't moving far, out of that line that they travel in. But they wasn't just flying in a straight line, just floating in a straight line, so to speak. They were kind of moving, like up and down, side to side a little bit, stop or go. That's why, like, some of them was kind of going fast, and then some of them, like, they was going slower and slowing down. But they just kept coming. I was like, man, the Lord to put on the show for me, because I was driving down the street. I was like, man, those Chariots. So I just whooped over, and they was right in front of my face. It wasn't like I could not see them. No, it was like they was sitting over the road. But I could tell they was high in the air, so to speak. But they looked like they was low and close to the road. So I just whooped over and jumped out and started recording. And that's what I got. And they just kept coming. When I mean they kept coming, they kept coming. I stopped recording for probably like a minute and just was watching. And they was still coming. So I like, I'm going to record some more if they ain't going to stop. Y'all see that? Y'all seen that shoot across? Maybe that's a bug. Maybe that's a bug. I don't know. Maybe that was a bug or something. Because it was moving. That could have been a bug flying to that light. I ain't gonna just say that was a chariot. And that's why I ain't really just put the video out, because I ain't want to be assuming, oh, those chariots, and it was from a fire or some crazy shit. But it wasn't no fire. Process to eliminate. Ain't no goddamn way no emeralds gonna be popping off no fire that goddamn good. Them little Edomites threw me off. Riding around with ski masks and shit on. That's how you know Esau, your kingdom is done. You got Edomites trying to be NBA young boy and shit. Pooh Shiesty and shit. America through. But these are the signs of the end time. Different things like this. See, this gonna be happening on a mass scale. Like, everybody gonna be seeing, and the Lord gonna put on a show. It gonna get to the point where these chariots gonna be like they dropping fire or sparks, or like a firecracker exploding, but not actually exploding, but just making that look like they explode. See, that one was moving up, and they just moving all kind of way. Then they'll stop for a quick second and start back moving it. You could just tell, like, this ain't nothing normal. This ain't nothing I ever seen before. As far as even, dealing with chariots. I done seen chariots before, but that was this hill was the best I ever seen. And I was able to get it on camera. Any other time, I'd never be able to get it on camera. But the Lord allowed me to be able to stop, pull my phone out. You know that I always take the longest, especially if something happening fast. You be struggling to get your phone out. But shit, the Lord kept them coming. Because I had stopped recording because I was like, they probably done. But it was some more. They kept coming. And this was a couple minutes. I sat there for at least a minute or two just watching them. When I was finna leave, I was like, that might be all of them. Then they started right back coming. And these coming up out of a different spot look like. Somewhat. Because the other one was coming from a higher area. Like, man, you won't be able to tell. But these coming like from a low right behind these trees where they was dropping it. And it looked like those last ones was flying the same route, basically. Same pattern. See, that one looked like it almost stopped the very last one. And then it just started going straight across. Yeah, but I ain't want to just be like, oh yeah, I seen a fleet of chariots, and then it was something different. But this was actually a fleet of chariots. Ain't no way there was no drones or no shit like that. And like a couple, I probably sat out there for a little bit after this video. And they came, and then they eventually stopped. Then I left, and I ain't see no more. It like that one had went up, then it went down. You can see it climbing up. And a couple more came. I think after that, I just stopped the video. I was like, that's down at 10 minutes probably. And I was just recording it. I was like, man, those chariots of the Lord. Yeah, but I got 2 precepts, and I'm gonna get on up out of there. I just wanted to, show. I got these 2. This Exodus 13, because the chariots can look like actual fire. These didn't look like balls of light, like like a star, like a white light, so to speak, almost like a star. They looked more like fire. It looked like fiery orbs floating. That's exactly how they look. They ain't look like more like a light. They looked like fire balls floating in the sky. That orange that they was, that's how orange they was in real, like through my eyes. This Exodus chapter 13 and verse 12, it say, and the Lord went before them by day in a pillar of a cloud, because we know the chariots can cloak themselves as clouds. And why was it a pillar of cloud by day? Because they was in the wilderness, which is the desert, And the Lord gave them, shade to lead them the way, and by night a pillar of fire. And that's what those chariots that I was looking at looked like. They just far away, but they looked like little fiery orbs. Imagine all hell breaking loose and one of those come down. You'll be a damn dummy not to follow it, man. Especially being a part of this truth, being, servants of the Lord, actually doing, to the best of our ability what's required of us, for salvation. The Lord can send you one of these down and to guide you in the way. It say, and by night a pillar of fire to give light to them, to give light to go by day and night. So the Lord was with us coming out of the land of Egypt. It saying he took not away the pillar of a cloud by day, nor the pillar of fire by night, for from before the people. Yeah, so the Lord aided them. The Lord aided the people the whole time. Yahweh Shai was there the whole time. Not in physical, but he was there in that chariot, leading us up out of Egypt. Here go another one, going into the Ezekiel 1:1, and even the scholars know that this is talking about UFOs. But this Ezekiel chapter 1:4, it say, and I looked, and behold, a whirlwind came up out of the north, a great cloud, and a fire enfolding itself. And that's exactly what those chariots looked like that I was looking at. It looked like orbs of fire, fire, a fire enfolding in itself. It say, and a great, and a brightness was about it, and the color of the mist, Salaki, and the brightness was about it. And that's how those was at first, and then as they went across, they dimmed out. Some of them stayed lit and crossed all the way behind the trees, but some of them dimmed out before they got to the trees. It say, and a brightness was about it, and out of the midst thereof, as the color of amber, and out of the midst, the color of amber out of the midst of the fire. Then you go down and go into how the angels came out, giving a description of the angels that came out. But that's pretty much the point. I just wanted to make a little quick video of what I seen, and that's exactly what it looked like. That's exactly what it looked like, and I'm gonna get this too, because not for one moment was I scared or nervous or no shit like that. I wasn't scared, period. Why? Because shit, the chariots, that's all we want. Swing low, sweet chariot, come for to carry us home. To hopefully lit. I want to get this Jeremiah chapter 10:2. Verse 1, it say, hear ye the word of the Lord, hear ye the word which the Lord speak unto you, O ye house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. For the heathen are dismayed at them. And that was a sign of heaven. Of course, it's talking about also even eclipses and, lunar eclipses, solar, whatever you want to call those, aurora, different things like that, Those also are signs in heaven, But one of the main signs in heaven that is going to have people afraid, because that's what dismayed mean, is those chariot sightings. Especially if you don't know what they are. Why? Because Esau pushed the narrative of alien invasion. Little green men from Mars coming to eat your brain, take over the earth, and suck the water off the earth. Some crazy shit. When they come steal the cows, some dumb shit. Put go into the corn pasture and put a damn, I forgot what they call that shit. Put the little symbol in the corn patch. Some dumb shit. Have people scared, but hopefully we not gonna be afraid when we see these things. Even if they causing destruction, we not gonna be afraid to the Lord finna kill me. We gonna be hoping that the Lord don't, cause the Lord couldn't kill our ass now. So, but at the end of the day, we gonna be hoping that we protect it. We gonna be hoping that it's for our good and not for But the point being that these are signs of heaven. I'm also gonna go find another one. I know where I need to go. I know it's one in Joel. I thought it was one in the New Testament, though. That's why I was trying to go. We'll just go to Joel. Joel chapter 3. It may be 2. Let's see. It may be chapter 3, though. No, it gotta be 2. Damn. It's locking. I might have to search it up. Search the thing up. It might be an X. That's why I think is it. It's one in Joel too, I think. But I don't, well, nah, that might be the one I seen. This Acts chapter 2 and verse 19, it reads, "And I will shew wonders in heaven above and signs in the earth beneath, blood, fire, and vapor of smoke." But that was a wonder in heaven above, all the different chariot sightings being seen throughout the earth. Those are wonders in the heavens above. You know, like, what is that? Like, people be wondering what it is, but you know, we don't wonder. I mean, of course, we ain't gonna jump straight to, oh yeah, that's a chariot, that's a chariot. You know, because sometimes it be drones flying, it be helicopters and shit flying, airplanes, and you know, different other little air jets and shit that be flying. So you can't always jump to conclusions. But I could be wrong. I believe that was fleet chariots. You know, hands down, how they was moving and. Like I never seen nothing like that down there. Period. Nowhere, shit, where I was, you know. So it ain't no normal occurrence, regardless. But it had to be a fleet of chariots. How they was moving, how they was disappearing, kind of like they'd phase out, and then they kept coming, and then eventually, after about, it had to be a good strong 15 minutes from when I seen them. They just stopped. You know, because I recorded for like almost 10, like 9, when you put those two videos together, probably like 9 minutes. And then they just stopped because I was watching them before I even started recording. Well, I watched, as soon as I jumped out, I tried to start recording. But they was sitting in the air when I was coming down the street. But they probably just had popped up. But I stopped recording for a couple minutes and just was watching them. Then I started back recording because they kept coming. I was like, I might as well just record some more. They keep coming. And then I stopped it again, but they were still coming. So they was floating across for a good 15 minutes. But that's pretty much the point, you know, the Lord put on the show for me. That's the first time I ever seen a fleet like that. And for them to be that close and illuminated like they was, that was the first time I seen that many. I seen one like that before in that area when I was living down there. But it was more like a whiter light. It was more like a star. But it was almost doing the same thing, and it was a little lower to the ground. I was doing like a walk and talk, so to speak. I wasn't doing a walk and talk, but I was walking and I was doing the video. And I seen it. But, yep, that was my little testimony of the fleet of chariots I seen Friday night. So with that, Lord, when this was edifying, I want to end to giving all edifying and uplifting. I want to end to giving all honor and glory to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem, Kakodash, double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, rule well, and great example to the young brothers in the truth. Peace and blessing to the hopeful elect. Shalom. Kwam Yashala. Abba, Shalom.